think we've been dealt a blow today. We're just talking about that one, Ridiculous. But how are you anyway? How's your day been?
Oh, it's been fine up until the announcement. It sort of has really starting to really hit home, I guess. WA has been isolated in many ways from everything that's going on. It's been life as normal, and I think it's starting to hit home now. But really, the rubber meets the road. It was actually interesting. I did have a thought earlier on of how conscription back in 1935 or when it was or whenever it came in, and they mandated and mandatory conscription for the war for men between 18 and 35, and they had to go off to war. They had no choice, and it was like, and we're not being forced into that, but just being forced into doing something that is against what you really want. I just was thinking about that. I've got other thoughts on that, but I don't know that this is the platform for that. But it was just a thought, just what goes on in the world sometimes, and how you have to live through it and find out what's out the other end of it. Regardless of what decisions you make, it's not about that. It's about what's being forced.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm really conflicted. One part of me wants to just keep going on with the show, and another part of me is starting to feel like I really want to speak out about this. And what's the point in having these shows if I can't even live my life? Having this business and having a community where we're supposed to support and love each other if I'm not even allowed out in my own community and physicality. So it's a bit sticky for me, Ridiculous. And also the amount of people you turn away as a result of having a voice about this. Even just having a differing opinion with somebody, you find very quickly how ugly that can get when they're not regulating their own emotions and they're not actually checking in on themselves and speaking their truth. They're speaking someone else's truth and just parroting things back to you. It's with social media. I feel like I turn a lot of people away with the things I say, but I can't not say them. I think it's just crazy of what's going on, and we need to at least see it happening.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Just thinking of people like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, all these superheroes, how when they do what they do because that's what they believe in, quite often get rejected. Superman was ridiculed and completely made a fool of by the newspaper, and Batman was rejected by all the police force, calling him a vigilante, and Spider-Man, well, he was completely similar to Superman. I guess when people stand up for the truth, for what they believe in, and it goes against the narrative of the day, it makes it a very interesting time for the superhero. The thing is, the superhero never gives in, and he always wins the day, and he does it for the reason that he's actually doing it for, his true purpose. So, but for us on this show, I guess there's something that we probably, it's about maintaining a peace somehow in the midst of it all. Your head can scream, but if you have a peace inside, that can really change. And we don't want to be people who end up in a place of stress, because once that happens, the stress putting in stress, then we know where that leads to. It leads to the breakdown of the immune system, and we end up getting sick anyway. And then also, we don't want to be people like that. We want to live with a peace, knowing that the hero or our true self is actually able to handle this. We are able to handle this, I think, for us as a people. And I'm 62, and I've lived a lot. And the things that we've actually never had to live through a war, never had to live through some of the things that people in Europe have had to live through, the stressful things. So, it's. I remember years ago, El Chemo, we went along to a vegetarian cooking class. It was actually through the Seventh-day Adventists. And one of the things they said was, by doing eating certain foods and eating certain ways, it's good to put your body under stress so that when stress comes, it's able to handle it. And it's actually a mental thing too, isn't it? So I guess this is a time for us to rally around our brothers and sisters and family that are struggling and try and, we just lean on one another. We've got wonderful tools that help everybody through stuff. It's not going to change circumstances, but it'll certainly help people find a peace in the midst of it, I think.